Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome, guys. I'm really glad to see you here. This is my first webinar in English, actually, and the first on YouTube, because previously I was broadcasting at Discord, and I can hear that we have even the sound, because there was some issue on Tuesday during the webinar in German. It was caused by some equipment on my side, so it was my fault. And today I'm going to show you how you can effectively set up the workspace in Atlas so that you can start trading the futures, either S&P 500 or NASDAQ, and how you can start using my indicators, because my idea of the indicators is that you basically don't have to set them. You don't have to fine-tune them. That is the entire idea. And I will show you that it really works, that it's really extremely easy to set them up and basically start using them. So this is how the workspace will look like. This is something we will create today. I will show you step by step how to create the Renko chart for the semaPHorek indicator, as well as the other indicators, and actually how to merge everything together so that you have a really effective workspace to work with, obviously. So without further ado, let's begin. If you have any questions, you can ask me in between. I don't mind. I see the chat, so I will be really pleased when you ask the question and I can answer them. If we have time, if you are interested, I can basically show you how to set up semaPHorek, because this is quite a frequent question, how to set up for particular time frame and particular instruments, so we can do that as well. But the main goal is to deliver you this workspace, which looks exactly like this one. I will start from the very scratch, from the chart, from the default chart in Atlas. I will set it up so that it became my general chart, my general template. And then I will adjust all 5 charts at this layout, at this workspace. I work with one display only. I've got one monitor, one screen only. I'm used to that. It's okay for me. I've never got used to more displays, such as 2 or even 4. But I guess that my setting and my trading and my strategies are basically simple. So I don't need more screens. And I like having everything clean so that I can focus on important things, make good decisions, and so on and so on. I'm recording this webinar, and if there is any issue with the broadcast, with the video, with YouTube, whatever, there will be the recording, and I will eventually upload the video to YouTube so that you can see it later and check everything later. So let's begin. I will click, this is the template, this is the main Atlas control panel, and I will be using normal chart. Let's start with opening the NQ chart, because this setup is focused on NASDAQ. However, obviously, you can use it for other instruments as well, such as S&P 500, Dow Jones, Russell 2000, whatever you trade. It's just the adjustment of semaPHorek, because obviously this is the indicator that requires some adjustments. Unlike the other indicators, most of my indicators you just place at the chart and they work. So I will basically maximize this window, and let's start adjusting this chart. First of all, I will start with the, as mentioned, with the general chart. I will adjust it to my needs, and I will show you how you can save the templates, how you can import the workspace, and so on and so on. First of all, let's adjust this chart. We obviously don't need the profile on the left side, so I'm clicking this middle dot in the middle of the profile, and I'm deleting it. We also don't need the depth of market indicator. I don't use it in my trading. I don't need it. So I'm going here to the upper left corner and clicking at the X icon to delete the depth of market indicator from the chart. And now let's start adjusting it. Oh, one thing. I'm going to get rid of this panel, basically. It's called panel in ATAS, I guess. Yes, panels. It's here in the settings. You can get to settings. There are two ways how you can get to the settings. Either you right-click the chart and then you go to the settings, or you use the hotkey, which is Control S. Oh, basically, there's the third way as well. And this is this gear icon in the upper right corner. Whatever you use, you get to the settings. I'm used to using the hotkeys because that is, in my opinion, the fastest way to get to the settings. And I see the question in the chat, how about gold and crypto? It's no exception. I've got some settings of semaPHorek for crypto, for Bitcoin and Solana, I think. So I can show you at the end of this webinar how to use them with crypto, especially with Bitcoin, because I don't trade crypto at all, to be honest with you. I trade futures and I trade NASDAQ most of the time. I've traded currencies, then I've traded for quite a long time Dow Jones. Then I switched to NASDAQ. At that time, it was approximately, I think, 3 years ago. I was trading it for over 2 years. Then I switched to S&P 500 because there was some time when NASDAQ was strange. The volatility and the movements were somehow too fast, and I was going to try out S&P 500. That was the reason why I basically switched to S&P 500. Otherwise, and eventually I got back to NASDAQ because I like the instrument, I like the volatility, I like all those things which drove me crazy at the beginning. I mean, like liquidity sweeps, such as here. We've got an excellent liquidity sweep. I mean, when you draw a line, just a sec, I need to adjust something so that my magnet works. I think it's not active by default in ATAS. I mean this one, just to show you what I mean with liquidity sweep. This is a liquidity sweep. You see that? When they basically hunted the stop losses of the short traders, they pulled out the liquidity and they actually got a triple top here, as I can see at this 5-minute chart. You see that? Maybe not exactly by one tick. Oh no, that's just the drawing issue. You see that? That was the triple top, which is a usual situation for liquidity sweep. So it's just a situation why I like actually NASDAQ, because of those things, because it's quite simple actually find setups that work. There was something, I would say that there was a non-trend day today, or slightly downtrend day. You see this high, this lower high, and they took out the liquidity and then they basically moved downwards a little, because today is the bank holiday in the United States, and it's not advisable to trade at all. Obviously, the exchanges closed, so we weren't able to trade until the usual end of the session. So let's get rid of this panel at the bottom of the screen. I'm right-clicking the chart with the right button of my mouse, and I'm clicking at Hide Panels. And as you can see, we gained approximately, 5 millimeters at the chart. That's one thing, obviously, but the more important thing is that I don't need it. I simply don't need it. I don't use it for scrolling, so I don't need it at the chart. And now let's start adjusting it. I will do one thing, though, and I will basically need this chart, this workspace, because of one thing. I would like to deliver you the exactly same workspace. And without fiddling with the color and so on, I will show you how we can use the tool in Atlas to basically copy and use the exactly same color of the background and candles and so on. I could have done one thing, and I will do that. I will clone the window, one window, like so, and I will click here at this pin, which make this particular window floating above all the other charts. And when I click here and start using it, I will still see this window. I basically don't need the NODEtective indicator here. I will get rid of it. And this way we have a nice chart here as the reference, so to say. So let's go to the settings. I'm starting with the adjustments. First of all, the background. I don't use any gradient or something like that. I just change the color instead of this one, the default color. I like slightly darker, a little bit darker than the default color. So I click actually at this square to open the palette. And then I go to the More Colors, and I click at this tool. This way, I can copy whatever the color anywhere is. Not even just in Atlas. You can use the color, let's say, from a picture, from a browser, whatever. This works across the entire screen. And I will go here to the chart, click it with the left button, and now I've got the same color. When I click OK, you see that the background of the chart, I mean the main chart, changed. It's darker a little now. Let's move on. End color, nothing. Use two colors. No, I don't use the gradient as mentioned. If I clicked it, it would switch to gradient, but I don't use it. Open, high, low, close color, that's okay. Indicator labels, indicator separator, that's still okay. Crosshair, you can keep it without any changes. Text, this is the text of the crosshair. When you move the crosshair, then you obviously get something like a flag or a number with the background, and this is the color of the background. You can set it here. I'm talking about this. Let's move on. Current price. I use the default settings. However, I don't need the extended line. So I will uncheck extend price line like so. And as you can see, there's no extension of the price line at the chart. I don't use it usually. It's a small thing. Obviously, you can keep it there. And then you know, for instance, whether we are at a level important from the past, from the previous price action. It's not that bad. You can keep it. I will turn it off. Grid. I'm always getting rid of grid. Getting rid of grid. Getting rid of the horizontal grid. So the horizontal lines as well as vertical lines. Now the chart is absolutely clean. And this is what I like the most. There's one interesting settings though, new session line style, and it's this line, this blue line. It's the beginning of the session. I'm in the Central European time, Berlin time, or whatever, Central European, and this is the midnight for Central Europe. I can slightly adjust it because I think it could be slightly dimmed out. I will click at the blue color, blue square, and I will move the slider slightly to the right so that the color of the line is not disturbing. This is the way I like it. Width, that's okay. Axis. What I like is to have a slightly different color for the axis compared to the background of the chart. I simply like it. When I click here at this checkbox, you see that the background of the price axis as well as of the time axis changed a little. It's slightly, very slightly lighter. This is what I like. And what I definitely like is draw borders. This adds a line at the price axis as well as the time axis. And there's the border between the chart, between what's happening at the chart and the axis. I like that. Candles. I like adjusting the color of the candles slightly. So again, same way like with the background, I will click at the color, which I'm going to change. Green color, green candles. And I click at more colors and use this tool again. And I use my chart already, which I already set up. And you can see when I click at OK that the green candles will change the color slightly. Just slightly, but I like that. Now, the same with the red colors. More colors, tool. I will click at the red candle, and again the red candles at the chart change a little, very slightly. I don't need the border. I don't need the same border wick color as the bar candle borders. No, that's okay. I don't use bars. I don't use line. I don't use area. These are the other visualizations, other styles of the chart. Customization time, I don't need that. Other, and this is important. In this section, there are a few settings which are quite useful. I like fine-tuning it so that it fits my needs. Crosshair border, no. Indicator values on mouse over. This is slightly annoying for me, so I'm turning this off, usually. Auto-transform candles to clusters. It's a great feature in ATAS. When you switch to cluster chart, footprint, obviously, then you don't need to use, I think it's Shift-C, like a cluster. You can simply use your mouse wheel and basically zoom in, literally zoom in to the candle to see the footprints and the bid-ask values. I like this feature, however, not 20 pixels, that's the width of the candle, to transform the candle into the footprint. I like increasing this value a little, let's say 40, that's okay. Hide cluster panel. I like hiding the cluster panel. When you zoom in to the cluster chart and you start seeing the footprints, all of a sudden you also see here on the very left side of the chart the panel with the different settings for the footprints, like a volume, delta, bid asks, trades, and so on and so on. I don't use it, so I basically am turning this off all the time. Auto transfer horizon, no, nothing. Price offset, this is a good value to change because this value tells you what is the distance between the candles and the price axis. By default, it's 200 pixels, which is too much for me. So I like decreasing it to, let's say, 40. And you noticed how close are the candles now to the right border, right side of the chart, which is, in my opinion, quite useful because this way we utilize the entire area of the chart effectively. And I promised you that we will buy an effective workspace together. A vertical offset, this is the distance between the candles and the upper or bottom edge. Smoothing, yes. Mouse wheel behavior, zoom. You can either use the mouse wheel for zooming, scrolling, or zooming XY, which basically zooms in the both directions, not just X-axis or y-axis, but both of them. I was using this for some time, but currently I got back to the zoom and use my Shift and Alt keys to zoom in when I need. Leave ruler on my release, no. Show indicators list, yes. What I like unchecking is minimize volume values, because when you're in the cluster chart mode and you see the footprints, then you see the minimized values when checked, which means, for example, if there is, let's say, 1,347 contracts traded at a particular price level, and then, let's say, 2,766, instead of these precise and detailed values, you start seeing actually 1K or 3K. I like seeing the precise values. That's why I basically always uncheck this feature. Minimize volume values, uncheck. And we are at the end of the settings of the chart. This is how I like it, more or less. I'm clicking at close, and now I will save this settings as a template, because next time I don't need to adjust everything. I will just click at the template and use the preset settings. I don't need this chart anymore, so I'm closing it. I'm going to click this icon, templates, and at the very bottom I'm clicking at settings, and I will click at add, and I will name these settings like I don't know, whatever, clean chart, let's say, yeah, clean chart, just a second. Okay, now I see it better. Clean chart. Okay, now it's at the very bottom of the list, and I will click at this star. I will favoritize the settings so that it's available in this menu without the necessity of going to the settings, finding this particular settings, and then clicking at it. It's much, much faster. The most usual and most frequent settings which you use, you can click at the star mostly and access it much faster. So I'm clicking at close, and now at the list, at the bottom of this list of the templates, there will be clean chart. You see that? This is the settings. This is the clean chart setting, clean chart template, which I just created. I've got the previous settings. I will click at it. This is the, oh, no. I forgot two things. Quite important things, what I like. Obviously, you see the instrument and the time frame in the upper left corner. What I like to see is to have the instrument and the time frame in the bottom right corner. And then I like to have the information about the closing of the candle. It's a pity that basically exchange closed. I am unable to show you the idea of using it, but you can try out when you download the Workspace file. I will just add those two indicators because these are indicators to the chart. I'm going to the indicators here in the list, and I'm looking for watermark. Watermark is the indicator which by default sits in the middle of the chart and shows us the instrument and the time frame, which is what I'm looking for. You can even add the second line, which is here in the settings. I can basically write here, for instance, NASDAQ, but it's not point to have the instrument as well as the ticker of the instrument and as well as the instrument. So I don't use the second line. You can name it if you need a special notice for the chart. You can use it. It's quite useful for somebody. I don't use it. And let's change it. Now it's a size of 50. I'm going to decrease it. Well, first of all, I will move it from the center of the chart to the bottom right corner by selecting the position. Currently, text location is center, and I'm going to change it to the bottom right. Now it's here. That's the question in the chart. Where can I get your wonderful Linescope indicator? Thank you. There are 3 versions of Linescope, actually. There's Linescope Lite, which is the free version. You can get it for free. Then there's the Linescope subscription version. And then there's the Linescope Lifetime Ultra version. I will talk about it later when I will be adding Linescope indicator to the chart in approximately, I don't know, 25 minutes, let's say. And Lite is okay. Yeah, I think so too. With the versions, Lite is not actually live. Lite is definitely not a demo version, nor a reduced functionality version. Lite version is the first version of Linescope, which I was using, this particular version, for more than 1 year. And during this time, I wrote down the ideas about the improvements, about what can be better, what is worth improving. And then I came up with the next version. So basically, the Lite version is the 1.0 version. It's that version. And the differences, there are particular differences I will explain, but you can start with the Lite version, which is free. How you can get it? I will write it to the chart. There's a, just a second. Yeah, this is the link to the Discord. It's a free Discord. You can join and you can ask for the free version. Or you can go to my website, which is my name and the name of this YouTube channel. And you can order either the subscription version or the Ultra Lifetime version or the free Linescope version. And I will activate you 4 indicators, which are my 4 free indicators, including Linescope Lite. So that's it. And I will describe the differences when I will be talking about the Linescope indicator, when I will be adding it to the chart. So now you need to adjust the instrument and the time frame. I don't like bold text, so I'm unchecking bold. I would like to have a slightly dimmed color. Gray color, like so. Okay. Yeah. And then I need to change the size of the text, which is here in the upper part. There's the second line, and this is the main line. So instead of size 29, let's say something like 20 is okay. It's barely visible, but I actually like it this way because it's not disturbing. I like it. But I need to move it to the left a little because there will be the bar timer indicator. So I need to move it vertical offset a little. Oh, just a sec. Sorry, horizontal offset. I need to move it, let's say, to this position, like -50, whatever. -50 is okay. Maybe -60 will be even better. -60, and I will decrease the size a little and move it a little bit upwards, like so maybe. This is okay. I like it this way. Each chart has instrument and time frame here because I use a snapshot utility which sometimes take a screenshot of the chart but without the price axis, time axis, and this upper panel. Okay, So in these cases, I don't see obviously instrument and time frame. That's what I use it here in the bottom right corner. And let's add the another indicator, which is the bar timer, which is great because now you see when is the candle about to close, which is useful obviously at time-based time frames, such as 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute, and so on and so on. I don't need to look in my bottom right corner to my taskbar of Windows, and I see the closing times here without thinking. So I'm getting rid of the background of the bar timer. It's transparent now. I don't like the green color. I would like to have it green, gray as well, like so, let's say. Size is actually okay, and I just need to move it horizontally, like so, and vertically. Now this is okay. This is okay. I will move watermark a little. So 60 isn't enough. Let's make it 60. Let's make it 70, whatever. Yeah. And the bar timer, let's move it a little at the x-axis, like so. Now it's okay. Now it's perfect. And that's a great function in ATAS currently. Change color before new candle, which means that the background and the text of the time, it's here basically. Now the mode. Now the bar timer shows time until bar closes. That's useful. You can change it to current time, which is at this moment 8:35 p.m. in my time zone. But I like having here time until bar closes. And you can turn this on, show area, and set the seconds. Now, you see that when the candle is about to close and the time for candle closing is 5 or less seconds, then it changes the background and the text color. You can change the text color to whatever. You can make it orange or maybe green, like this. No background. I like yellow background, but the color can be, yeah, it's like, it's okay. Or maybe blue. Now I'm happy with that. This is very useful because when you observe the candle, if you wait for particular, let's say, conditions for changing the candle, you don't want to scan from the candle to the time, from the candle to the time and back. You just pay attention to the candle, to the closing of the candle, and you also see peripherally when the candle is about to close. So this is very useful, having the bar timer with the bright background color. So now I'm actually really happy with the chart. So I'm clicking templates again. I'm going to settings, and now I need to find my settings for this template, which was a clean chart. Let's find it. It's here. And this is it. That's the star. I favoritized the settings. So I'm selecting it and clicking at save. And now I got the information window if I'm really going to overwrite the settings. Yes, I am. And here we go. This is the settings for the chart. Now, each time when I open a chart, I will be able to get to these settings really fast. And that's the point. That's the idea. Let's begin with the settings. I do it. How will I do it? We can actually now clone the window. I will do it this way. I'm thinking. Yeah. I will click at clone window, which is another way how you can basically get the same settings. And now I move the window to this middle cross. And I will start arranging the windows. Actually, there's one thing. This is the drawing panel. I don't use it because I remember all the shortcuts of the drawing objects through hotkeys, such as F2 is trend line, F6 is horizontal line, F5 is ray, and so on and so on, so I don't need it. However, there are going to be quite significant improvements of this drawing panel, and somebody likes it, somebody not. I don't use it, so I don't need it in my chart. I'm going to drawing objects, and I'm going to uncheck drawing object toolbar. The same on the left chart. I don't need it. Okay, now we have the charts. Now we have two charts. Now I'm going to add market profile because, why? I simply like market profile because it tells me a lot of information. I really started liking market profiles since the moment when I came across it, because I really admire the idea behind market profile, which was invented by Peter Steidelmeier. I think it was 1980 something or 70 something. I think it was 1985, I think. And it was a revolution, literally, in my opinion, because you start seeing things which you normally don't see. Or basically you see them, but it's so much easier to see them at the market profile. That's why I like it. So we will do the same thing. I will clone this window again, and I will move it to the upper part of the chart, like so. Now I am not going to waste your time with setting up the indicator. Market profile is an indicator. That's the thing. I'm going to go to the indicators, add it to the chart, but then I will use my template to save your time and not go through the entire settings. I will show you. You will just find TPO, market profile, and TPO. You double click. This way you add it to the chart, and you will select not profile, but market profile and TPO. And all of a sudden, I start seeing both market profile and TPO. There's one thing crucial. Basically, two things are crucial. When using market profile, you actually don't need the candles, because you've got the information in the market profile. So you click here at this mode icon in the menu, and you will click at hidden. And now we quit seeing the candles, obviously. That's one thing. And the other thing is, I need to set the time frame to 30 minutes. Why? Because Peter Steidelmeier came up with the idea of market profile at the 30-minute chart, and I respect that. I like the idea of seeing all the development at 30-minute time frame. There are things called TPO, time price opportunity. Those are the elements which market profile is built from, and this should be 30-minute by default. So I respect that. Actually, you can use market profile. This is, by the way, daily. This is daily market profile, daily volume profile. You can also use it at, let's say, 4-hour chart. I mean, the 4-hour profile, and then you need to adjust the TPOs. But is it possible to merge profiles together into one? Yes, it is. I will change the time frame to 30 minutes. And I will show you. You just need to use the plus and minus key at your numerical keyboard. That's crucial. You just hover your mouse above the chart, which you are going to merge, and you click at the plus button, plus key. And you saw that I merged it with the chart, with the profile on the right. It's great for rotations, for instance, because you see that that these two profiles are very similar to each other. I mean, the low of the profiles is quite close to each other. High of the profiles is quite close to each other. Even value area, I'm not sure whether you see it at YouTube, but the value area of the left profile, value area based on the volume profile, is here. And value area of the right profile based on the volume profile is here. So those 2 days somehow are similar. I say it like so. Those 2 profiles are similar, so you can merge them together, obviously. I will get rid of the drawings, and I will hover the mouse above the left profile, and I will press the plus key, and all of a sudden I've got this profile. I know where the POC, VPOC, volume point of control, of those 2 days was, as well as value area high, value area low, where was the low volume node, where was the high volume node. So this is quite useful. Merging profiles together is quite useful. I was talking about the different profiles and different TPOs. You can use it for volume profiles with the TPO of 5 minutes, or you can use it even intraday. You've got the 30-minute profiles with 1 minute TPOs. I've got a template for that. I conducted a webinar about that, and it is here. ID TPO. Then it looks like this. You need to switch it to 1 minute because the TPOs are 1 minute, and you start seeing this. This is the development of each 30-minute candle. These candles are 30-minute candles, those, but the building elements of them are 1 minute only. When I hover above the market profile and click at the G key at the keyboard, then the profile opens, so to say, and I start seeing the TPOs, the building elements. I'm not going to dive too deep into this, just to let you know. This is actually something I will be talking about later on, about the positive candles and about the negative candles. So let's talk about positive and negative candles now, and I will explain you the idea in a slightly advanced way. Not just why am I using it that way, but why, what is the reason behind, the mechanism, the idea. The idea is following. We have this nice candle here, which is happened to be green. But in my style of trading, I call this candle negative. I don't distinguish between the red and green candles. I think that the color doesn't matter that much. There is one thing is more important than the color of the candle, and it is whether the candle is positive or negative. I will tell you what is the difference. Each candle has the low, obviously, and each candle has the high, like H. And now that's the mean of the candle, the middle value, the 50% of the height of the candle, which is here. This is 50% of the candle height. And now, as mentioned, I don't pay any attention to the candle color. I pay attention where or how the candle closed in relation to the mean of the candle, to the 50% of the height. Because if you look at this candle and you see that the candle is green, then you basically say that this candle is bullish. And I honestly think that this is misleading. This candle is not bullish at all. It's a negative candle. And when you start using profile, then you have reasons for this point of view. Now I will close the profile by pressing the G key again, and I will start seeing very interesting things. What we see, market profile is the profile based off time, not the volume, but the time. And those peaks and valleys, this is the obvious peak of the profile. This is the valley, let's say. These are the valleys, low values. And this is the peak, of course. Now, imagine the situation. What happened here? This candle closed here, so obviously the next candle opened at the same level, which happened to be even the low of the candle. The candle didn't go to the downside. The buyers managed to push the price up to this level and created the high of this candle. However, they didn't sustain it. They didn't have enough power to keep the price at those levels, at those high levels, and they lost it. They basically they weren't able to keep the price there at those levels, and the price returned to this level. Now think about it. Who was in charge at this candle? Were they the buyers or the sellers? And I will start understanding the idea. This candle is said to be bullish, but in my opinion, it's a negative candle. It's a weakness of the strength of the sellers. Sellers negative. That's the point, obviously. So I don't pay any attention to the color. And moreover, this red line is the point of control by market profile. At this level, during those 30 minutes, the time spent most of the time, there were probably some fight. Buyers were going upwards, sellers managed to go downwards again and again, and so on and so on. And the candle spent the most time here at this price level, let's say 25,306. But the candle closed below it. So they fought with each other at this level, and the candle closed here. It's yet another sign of the weakness. That's why the candle is negative. Then we have the value area. The value area tells us where the price spent 70% of the time. This is something like a bell curve. You probably know the bell curve, which have this 68%. This is the important, basically range of the area of the bell curve. Peter Steidelmeier used 70%. So this is not a mistake. When you came across 70% in ATAS, this is the correct value by Peter Steidelmeier. 70% of the time. And how I know? Where did the price spend 70% of the time? It's the value area. And this is the range between this gray color or grayish color and this white-ish color. And on the other side, it's this. And again, the price created this high. Nice. But the price did not close above the level where it spent the most time at this 30-minute candle. It is basically closed below the area or price range where the price spent 70% of the time at this candle, and the candle closed here. It is indeed green color, but I'm saying this is a negative candle. So without a lot of theory, crucial thing, it's basically very simple. I will get rid of all the drawings and I will start from the very beginning, and I will explain you this in 25 seconds. There's a low of the candle, there's a high of the candle, there's the mean of the candle, which means 50%, and you only pay attention where the candle closes. If the candle closes above this 50%, like so, then I consider it positive. However, if the candle closes below those 50%, even one tick below, then it's a negative candle, because sellers were in charge and in control of the candle, and that's it. That's the entire idea. Imagine, for instance, if you had a red candle here, like so. This candle is red, which means the candle opened here. This is the open of the candle. This is the close of the candle. Okay, it's red, but that's the high of the candle. That's the low of the candle. Then there's 50% of the candle, which is here. And now you start seeing the idea of the negative candle. Sorry, of the positive candle, which is red, but positive. Because the candle opened here, sellers managed to get the price to this level, but the buyers pushed the price from those low levels up to this level. And okay, they closed here, right? But above the POC of the profile, and what's obviously more important, about 50% of its height. So this is the positive and negative candle. And I use this idea and theory across basically all of my indicators. I really don't pay any attention what the color of the candle is. I only pay attention whether the candle is red or green, nothing else. Okay, that's it. And we finally, after 1 hour, we are getting closer to the indicators. This was important to explain all the things, how to arrange the charts, how to adjust the general settings, and so on. The idea with the bar timer, with the instrument and time frame, and so on and so on. So I will load my settings for the market profile. I need to change it to 30 minutes. Okay, and I think, yes, just close your eyes for 10 seconds. I will remove something, those indicators, we don't need those indicators. And now this is how I like seeing market profile at my charts, because it saves me a lot. But this is probably something for the next webinars. If you were interested into the market profile and the theory behind how you can use it, why, for example, this profile looks like a B character, like so. You see the B character. And the volume profile looks like a P character. We distinguish between P, B, D, and I letters, and they tell us something. And during the days like this is today. During the days like this, the profile looks. This is a very typical how the profile looks in a non-trend days, which is basically not worth trading at all, because I emphasized that the market profile is time and volume profile is obviously volume. Volume profile is volume. Time, look at the profile. It's actually perfect D letter, which means that the market was indecisive. It went up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and created basically the perfect bell curve, which is the ideal distribution. There were no buyers, neither buyers, no sellers in charge. This day was like nothing, basically. Okay, the volume profile looks, let's say, like a B character, deformed D, something between D and B. But when you engage market profile, it gets an additional piece of the information. You see that the price was indecisive, so it was not trading. It was not worth trading today. I saw somebody wrote at my Discord that he wasn't trading at all and he focused on studying. So it's, in my opinion, a very clever approach, because what you don't lose in days like this, you don't need to make a profit the next day. So not trading is trading as well. It's very clever. So this is the market profile. And now I will start adding my indicators, and I will basically add it here at this chart. Why? There are some phenomenons at the market profiles. One of them is buying tail and selling tail. Oh, this will be a little bit difficult. Buying tail means, I told you that I will open this chart, open this profile, and zoom a little bit in, and I immediately see the buying tail. It is this phenomenon at the profile. This is buying tail, and I like it a lot of paying attention to it during the day, because it helps me with the identification of the reversal. When something happens at the chart and the price reverses, we see some line here. Now I don't know basically what kind of line is it. It's either value area low or POC, because there's another line. This is obviously value area high. I think this is POC, so in this case this is VAL. And check this out. The price was hesitating during Asia, then it created this low, then it returned here, and then it actually, oh, it's not, it's wrong with the time, but then it made a very strong move downwards, which looked like beginning of a very strong downtrend. No way. They visited the previous day value area low, and then it's the next 30-minute candle. It's this line. They closed somewhere. Let's assume they closed here. And what they left behind is the buying tail. It is by Peter Steidelmeier, it's a single letter record, which means that it looks like line. Unzoomed, it looks like line. And you see that there is this part. I need to get rid of some drawings because it's overlapping and we see nothing. Okay, like so. And the buying tail is here. Yeah, this is the buying tail. See that? This is the buying tail because it is the line. You see that? You see the line, which is in this range, is alone. There isn't any other line. If I moved the chart like so, then there are two lines in the range. So this is not a buying tail anymore because there are two lines in the range. However, when it's set up properly, then there's just one record, one 30-minute candle. There was just one 30-minute candle in this area, nothing else. Then the price reversed, and the next candle, I'm talking about this one, closed, let's say something like here. And this is a sign of reversal. This is a confirmation of reversal. When I see buying tail, this is buying tail. When I see buying tail, then I know that the sellers lost the control of the market, of the price, and buyers stepped in. So this is very useful, having the information about the buying tails and on the other side about the selling tails, because, for instance, look at this. I will use the same colors so that you know, so that you won't get confused. And there's a tiny selling tail. Selling tail is on the other side. It was initially, it looked like this. I hope you see it across the mouse. The selling tail looked like this. Then this candle visited the area a little. Do you see that? I don't know how many? 2, 3, 5 ticks. Cut off a part of the selling tail. Then this part left. And then they moved downwards. They created this strong, basically, I would say the fastest movement of the day because of this selling tail. So it's worth paying attention to the buying tails and the selling tails. And I like using, and this is where we start engaging the indicators. It was this profile. You see that? There's the buying tail at the bottom and the selling tail at the top. We will start engaging the indicators because Linescope is the indicator for managing the lines. Linescope. Lines based off volume profile, market profile, VWAP, price action, initial balance, and so on and so on. So I will go to the indicators. And actually, I can use the Linescope Lite. However, I'm not sure whether I have... This may sound strange, but I'm not sure. Yes, I have Linescope Lite. Okay, luckily. When you place the Linescope Lite at the chart, then you don't see anything because I need to choose which lines I'm interested in. You can have the previous day's lines and current day lines intraday. So I like seeing the buying tail and selling tail from the previous days. So I uncheck all the other levels. I'm not interested in value area high by volume. I'm not interested in value area high by VWAP. How I know? Because of the first letter. W means by VWAP, V means by volume, and T means by TPO, which is the market profile. So this is, for example, value area high daily by market profile. I will show you something later. Okay, so I will uncheck everything except TPO BT, buying tail by TPO, by market profile, and ST, selling tail by TPO. And I will turn the previous days on. Now I start seeing the buying tails and selling tail. You see, for example, here, I told you that this is the buying tail. Sorry, I got lost a little. This is the buying tail, TPO-BT, and you can do two things. You can change the color of the object so that you click at it, of course. You click at the color, you select the original color. I can make it lighter, like so. I can even copy this hexadecimal value of the color for next use. I will show you in a moment. And I will click at confirm. I think I'm editing selling tail. And you see that the selling tails got lighter. You can see it even at the description. Selling tail is lighter compared to the buying tail. But I will obviously, I want to have both buying tail and selling tail in the same color. So I need to click at the BT, buying tail, the color, and I will paste here the hexadecimal value from my clipboard. I will click at confirm, and now the buying tail changed the color. I can even obviously change the buying tail to green, which is FFRGB, red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. like so. Now I have the buying tail in the green color, buying tail, green color, and selling tail, I can make it red, which is double F, red, green, blue. Okay. See, now I have the selling tail red and buying tail green. So this is something you can do in Linescope, even in Linescope Lite. I told you that this is not a demo version or some kind of reduced version or some nonsense. This is the version I was using for 1 year. And during this 1 year, I was collecting the ideas and then I came up with the next version. But I thought that the first version is very useful and that would be basically pity. Get rid of it and not offering it to the others because it works. It has notifications, it has the sessions in it, and so on and so on. I can show you at the other chart because at the market profile chart doesn't make much sense, but you can work it. I even implemented some improvements which were not in the 1.0 version, such as changing the description. You can change the description. If you don't like the way I describe the zones and levels, you can simply rename it. You don't like TPOBT? What the hell is TPOBT? It is, check this out. It is buying tail. And all of a sudden I see buying tails, not TPOBT. The same with the TPOST. It's a selling tail. Selling tail. I can rename it. It's so simple. And all of a sudden I start seeing selling tail and buying tail instead of the abbreviations. I'm used to the abbreviations, but I can imagine there are a lot of people who don't like that, who would like to rename it. They don't like... I will show you at the next chart, and basically we can go there immediately so that I won't jump between the indicators. This is... No, this is not. One important thing, those are the previous days, not today. I spoke about the development of the price after the buying tail was printed, but this is the finished profile. You know, it's not today's chart, so you need to engage current day's levels as well, which are the intraday levels, and I need to do the same thing. I get rid of all the other levels, such as this day high, this day low, Asia high, Asia low. By the way, amazing levels for liquidity sweeps at oil, crude oil, and indices such as Nasdaq and S&P 500. Equal high, equal low. That's amazing thing. That's amazing thing. I showed you how they basically pulled out the liquidity today, that triple top. You can basically have it drawn automatically with Linescope Lite, which is free indicator. And you see all those levels, which are potentially dangerous, where they are going to, where they may go pull out the liquidity. And I will click at daily levels on. And you see, there was the selling tail today. You see that? Or I can keep it blue. Why not? That's okay. Previous day profiles show buying tail green, selling tail red, and intraday profile, this day profile, show the buying tails and selling tail in blue. And that's it. And that's it, literally. Because we are done. This is how I like improving the market profile, because by default, buying tails and selling tails are not shown, but these are very good reaction zones, usually, because a lot of absorptions happen there, of course, because the price moved to the area, then the movement was rejected, and the price, I mean the bias changed, shifted from downtrend to uptrend. So it's very, very useful having there. And now we can move to the normal Linescope. I will do one thing. I will prepare the chart for the NODEtective upwards and PatternAction downwards. So I will clone this window 2 times and place it at the central corner here. You see, and now I have 2 charts. When I clone it again and place it at the central cross of the bottom chart at the bottom rectangle, then I will get this. And I have 3 charts. This is what I like. Let's start changing the time frames so that I don't forget. I like having Linescope at the very bottom of the layout at the daily chart. So I will change the time frame to daily. In the middle, I like having Linescope. So I will change the time frame to 30 minutes, like so. And PatternAction I like having at the 5-minute chart. This is intentionally chosen because this way I see the price development at the daily chart. I see daily chart because a lot of people, that surprises me, don't pay any attention to the daily chart. Then I see 30-minute chart. I see the I see the wonderful rotation today. You see the tiny line which separates days from each other. And then there's the 5-minute chart. So this is the current development and so on and so on. I like having here, I will make the adjustment now. There will be semaPHorek and the slave versions of the indicators. The lines generated at the highest time frames, which are dedicated to those indicators. These are the charts where the levels and zones are calculated, and then they are mirrored to the lowest time frame chart, which is in my case, I like trading NASDAQ and open the positions at NASDAQ at Renko 18. Again, this is not mandatory. You can use whatever you want. You can use Renko 30. You can use Renko 50. Anything below 18 is quite fast. I was trading Renko 14 for quite a long time, but I prefer Renko 18 to 14 nowadays. So I will change it to Renko 18. And there's one important thing which I do right now. First of all, I need to get rid of the bar timer because with Renko candles, we don't know when the candle closes. It's not time-based, it's tick-based range. Body of each, basically you see how lazy day today was. I see it immediately. If you are able to get all the candles from the entire day at the chart with Renko 18, that it was not worth trading, you know. But let's see later what these candles, whether these candles, especially this one, because you see the liquidity sweep here. Let's draw the line. Let's draw the line so that I don't forget. And let's see whether this candle was the entry candle. Because from my point of view, that was the only day worth trading, and this one as well. Check this out. You see that? Because this is something like a downtrend, and I will tell you consistently why I why I will say that this was a downtrend later, in a while, so that I don't forget. Just use this. And I made the mistake because I use semaPHorek at the micro NASDAQ chart, because I think that NASDAQ is the only chart where the majority of the volume happens at the micro chart, not at the mini chart. I called mini full contract, NQ. And micro is micro, but NASDAQ is, I think, the only chart where the most volume happens at the MNQ, not at the NQ. And now I can draw the areas I spotted. That's this one, and as well as this one. You see? And let's pay attention to that later. Now let's get back to the Linescope chart, which I mentioned is the middle one. I will place Linescope here. I will place Linescope subscription version so that I can explain you what were the improvements which I came up within this 1 year. So I will place Linescope, not Ultra, but Linescope. Linescope PH. That's it. I will place it at the chart, and I will see the differences. There are not only previous day lines, but also previous week lines and previous month lines. Because during that year, I thought to myself, hey, there are very important and very reactive levels at the chart, which I'm not aware of. Volume POC of the week. It's a massive level. POC of the weekly VWAP or high of the month. Those are amazingly strong levels. Yes, you are aware of the high of the day, which happens to be high of the month as well, because obviously there's one day in the month with the highest high of the month. That's logical. But you don't know which one in particular is the monthly high. You see a series of the daily highs, but you don't know which one of them is the monthly level. And this is simple. Monthly high-lows, this is simple. How about monthly value area high by volume profile monthly? Without Linescope prepaid subscription version, you don't know where the areas are. You can even engage flipped levels. Flipped levels, this is something I dreamt about, really. Yeah, I see it here. Because flip level is the price level which were not respected, such as, I will show you, such as this high. Check this out. There was this high. I will choose a different color. Yellow one is the best one in my opinion. This high, the price opened here, then they created this high, the price went aggressively upwards and created this high, and then moved downwards and the candle closed here. So this is the power basically of the sellers. Now imagine all the stop losses here of all the sellers. Where did they place the stop loss? Logically above the high of the candle. This is the 30-minute chart. So they could have entered at, I don't know, 5 minutes, 1 minute, Renko chart, volume bars, delta bars, tick chart, range US, and so on and so on. And I think, I'm basically quite convinced, then they placed the stop losses here above the swing high, which is very logical, Now imagine the situation when the price reversed, printed this quite indecisive candle, which opened here, closed here, created wick above, created wick below, but that this candle came, and this candle came, and those two candles, they broke the previous swing high without any doubt, with a huge power, with a self-confidence, so to say, Now this level, it was a resistance, of course, because the price action happened below this level, so it was resistance. Now, the price broke through this level. I need to adjust my drawing tool. Price broke through this level very significantly, without any doubt. And basically eaten those stop losses, and then return to this level. Return to the previous resistance, which turned to support. And you see it. You see where the reaction happened. You see that. This is the power of the flipped level. A flipped level. So this was the situation with the resistance, which turned into support. And I will show you the same situation with the support. How I will do it. I know. We have a line here. We have a nice, wonderful support, you know, wonderful support. And then we have a price. The price was moving to this area, like so. Many people expected that this area, that this line will work as the support. And what happened? Bam. The level was broken, not only broken, without any hesitation, without any, I don't want to use the word resistance, without any interest of fighting for the level. You know, it got broken, and price was at the other side of the line within one candle. This is very important. You see the power. You need to see the power. The power on the one side, the power of the candle, and then you need to see the lack of interest to fight for the level. You know. Then there was some development, like so. Then the price returned to this level. This was support. At this moment, at this stage, was the line support, but green. But now, actually, the price, the line turned to, I want it perfect, resistance. It's resistance. It's not a support anymore. It's resistance. Since the moment when this candle closed here, it's a resistance. You need a significant candle when you say without any doubt that the level was broken. You know, if there was a hesitation, I don't know, fight about the line up and down, one candle closes above it, the second below it. It has no meaning at all. But if you see something like this, that the candle breaks the level significantly without hesitation, then it's a flipped level. Support turned to resistance. And here you wait for the reaction. When you see here at this level, semaPHorek, which confirms that there is a reversal very probably happening, then this is one of the best levels to open the position. Why? Because there was a series of lower lows. It has to do with the market structure as well. There was a series of the market lows, then they reversed for a while. It was a pullback, but now you can expect the trend continuation and achieving a new low, obviously. So this is the power of the flipped levels, and you find the flipped levels in the subscription version of Linescope, not the light version, as well as the ultra version, obviously. And then we have, where we have it, sessions. We have initial balances. Initial balance, I'm not going to spend too much time with that. Initial balance is a great phenomenon. It's this part of Linescope subscription version. You see, European initial balance, American initial balance, daily initial balance, which equals to Asia initial balance, weekly initial balance, and monthly initial balance. Those are ranges which are very important for bias, for saying whether we are in an uptrend or the downtrend. And these are also very reactive areas. So this is yet another improvement. Another improvement was that I was going to get informed whether the line was touched for the first time, whether the line flipped from support to resistance and whether this flipped level was retested. So basically the third alert is the most important one of those three alarms. And just like with anything in my indicators, you can change it. If you know that you can change it. Because, for example, you see that the first alert is alert 2, the second alert is alert 1. Those are different sounds in ATAS. And the third alert is alert 3. But you can change it. You can change the third to alert 1, the middle one to alert 2, and the first one to alert 3. You can edit the names of the notifications. And the most beautiful thing is that you can create your own notifications. I've got my own notifications. I'm not sure whether I will be or won't to show you. I think I will. I will engage the notifications. Desktop sounds. Like and so. The most beautiful thing is that you can create your own notifications. I've got my own notifications. I'm not sure whether I will be or won't folder to show you. I think I will. Which is engage the notifications. Desktop sounds. Platform. Like and so. The most beautiful thing is that you can create your own notifications. I've got my own notifications. I'm not sure whether I will be or won't folder to show you. I think I will. If you go to engage the notifications, desktop sounds, platform, like and so. The most beautiful thing is that you can create your 86 notifications. I've got my own notifications. I'm not sure whether I will be or won't to show you. I think I will. If you go to engage the notifications, desktop sounds, and if you create your own notifications, thing I created notifications. Your 86 notifications. I've got my own notifications. I'm not sure whether I will be or you hear the sound to show you. I think I will because my desktop sound. Sorry. Thank you for that. I engaged desktop sound. I assume you started hearing echo now. I can hear this twice. Can you still hear me twice? I hope not. Now it should be okay. I will say something so that it's a continued. Better. Now it should be okay. I will describe what am I going to show you, and then I will show you without talking and describing what I'm going to show you, because that was the reason of the echo. Now it's okay. Oh, thank you. You can create your own notifications. I created files like ES1 and ES2. ES1 is the first warning, so to say. I created a system that ES1 tells me ES, just the ticker. And the stronger notification tells me S&P, So I immediately recognize, just by hearing the difference, whether it's a weak signal for NASDAQ, NQ, or the strong signal for NASDAQ. Let me show you. I will switch off my microphone and engage desktop audio and replay by hearing the difference, whether it's a weak signal for NASDAQ, NQ, or the strong signal for NASDAQ. NQ. Let me show you. I will switch off my microphone and engage desktop audio and replay by hearing the difference, whether it's a weak signal for NASDAQ, NQ, or the strong signal for NASDAQ. NQ. Let me show you. NASDAQ. I will switch off my microphone and engage desktop. There's a delay at YouTube, so I'm not able to show you. Anyway, you can trust me that you can create your own notifications, save them to ATAS platform sounds. And when I use the first one, NQ1, and place it to the Linescope notifications like so, and this will be my NQ2, then I can basically distinguish between those two notifications very easily. So this is yet another function of my indicators that you can basically you can edit almost anything. You know, I was going to make it as subtle as possible without distortion and having, I don't know, 150 parameters to change. If you want to change them, you can change it, but it's really quite undisturbing, subtle. So this is yet another thing. And obviously, that's the ultra version. If somebody purchases the lifetime version, then he gets the webhooks as well. Okay, you got it. Yeah, I lost quite some time here. Now I will get rid of all the drawing and start engaging the levels. I can place the daily and weekly levels at the chart. I can increase the size, I mean the width of the weekly levels. You see that I changed it to 3, and I can even change the solid dot dash or dot dash style of the lines. When I click at the style and you see that now it's dash, now it's dot, now it's dash dot. I need to get it back to the solid 3. So the weekly levels are width of 3 and the daily levels are width of 1. I will engage the intraday levels as well. Those have a different colors and so on and so on. So this is the Linescope chart. That's it. I spent a lot of time here and I almost killed the entire idea. So it's a blank chart. I go to indicators, I search for Linescope, I will place it at the chart, I click at daily, weekly, intraday, and I'm closing the settings. How long time did it take? 10 seconds. And I have all the valid levels from the daily, weekly, and intraday, including the flipped levels and broken levels. You see the gray levels? The gray levels were broken. They were active. They got broken with the price, but they are still there. I decided to have the broken levels at the Linescope subscription and ultra version because there can be reaction later. For example, if you got the VPOC of the previous day and the Asia touches the level and then Europe, for example, has a strong reaction there, I want to see the broken levels at the chart until the end of the session, until the end of the day. So this is it, 10 seconds, and my Linescope is set up. Now let's set up NODEtective. NODEtective looks for the high volume nodes and low volume nodes from the entire chart. And this is the idea. You can load, for example, not 200 days. You can load 500 days, which matters at, not gold, which matters at crude oil, obviously, I forgot the name. Euro, American dollar, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and so on and so on. Never mind. It's okay. So I will go to indicators. I will place NODEtective at the chart, NODEtective master. And now I need to, this is the only setting, I need to set up the amount of the high volume nodes and low volume nodes so that there's neither too many nor too much. This is okay, in my opinion. This is not too many, not too much. And that's it. 10 seconds, maybe. And now I place PatternAction at the 5-minute chart, which searches for order blocks and breaker blocks without any parameter, without any period, because I guess all other indicators for order blocks and breaker blocks. What did I do? Use the parameters for that. If you change the value of the period, then you get totally different order blocks and breaker blocks all of a sudden. Not here. I placed it at the chart, I'm clicking at apply, and that's it. No setting up at all. And I've got the valid swing highs and swing lows based on this need and improvement, based on the pattern action and the valid order blocks and breaker blocks. Today was really a lazy day, so we don't have much order blocks or breaker blocks because of the rotational style of the day. But that's it. And that's it. We've got the master indicators at the charts. And how long time did it take together? 1 minute, maybe? That's the advantage of my indicators. You don't spend literally any time by setting them up. You just place them at the chart and you start trading. That's it. Like so. That's it. Now I need to work a little with my Renko chart. I will place VWAP indicator at the chart because VWAP shows me what type of day this is. I will use my settings. Actually, it's already there. And I see that the POC was declining. This is what I was going to show you when I told you then there's the consistent way of saying whether this is a trend day, downtrend day, or non-trend day. And here you see basically that there were reactions to this line, to the POC of the VWAP today. But it's another theory. I won't be wasting any time. So VWAP, this is what I'm going to place at the chart, and semaPHorek. semaPHorek is the indicator which analyzes 9 conditions based on the footprint and actually supports you in the idea of opening the position or not. What's important is to adjust the settings of the semaPHorek for the instrument and for the time frame. So I click at this icon, which appeared at the chart at the moment when I placed the semaPHorek indicator. I click at import. I go to the settings folder. It's here. I search for MNQ Renko. I like using US soft. US means the session, American session, and soft is the settings. And I need to change something. I realized that I think there's something unchecked. This has to be checked. And that's it. Those are the entry candles. This was the entry candle. You see, I told you that I was curious whether this would be or would not be an entry candle. And you see that indeed this was an entry candle. We've got a nice liquidity sweep here. Then the candle printed semaPHorek 8, which means that the 8 conditions out of the 9 conditions were met. And you could have opened short position here because there was reason. There should be always a reason for opening the position. semaPHorek is just a confirmation. Never trade semaPHorek on its own just because there's a number. No. And I also highly recommend you waiting for the pullback or seeing at least 2 candles in the opposite direction. 2 candles, I mean 1 candle and 2 candles before opening. And semaPHorek must be at the 3rd candle, always. By 3rd candle, I mean this one, you know. There was some price development, then there was 1 candle, 2 candles, no semaPHorek, no trend continuation. Then there was first green, second green, and then the price printed this Renko candle after 2 green candles and after liquidity sweep. So there was a reason for opening the position, and the reason was confirmed by semaPHorek 8 lights. I won't be wasting too much time with the semaPHorek logic, idea, what are the conditions, and so on and so on. We can do it next week. But for this moment, let's close it with this setting. There's the confirmation for the short and the reason for the short. That's crucial always. Now, let's engage the other indicators, the slave versions. I don't need these drawings anymore. We started with NODEtective, master, and now I need to place NODEtective slave at the Renko chart. NODEtective slave is this one. It's already at the chart, okay. I need to set the synchronization key, which synchronizes the level across the charts. You can place the master NODEtective indicator at the NASDAQ chart, and you can place the slave NODEtective indicator at the micro NASDAQ. It works. So I will go there. I will select synchronization key, such as, let's say, NQD NASDAQ daily, and D NODEtective, NQD NODEtective NASDAQ daily. I will copy this string, click at share as master. Now it sends the signals, and I need to receive them by entering the same key and clicking at read mode. And that was the level at, where is it? Here. That is the level at 25,417 at the master chart, and 25,407. Okay, that's the difference between the zoom in, zoom out at the slave chart. So this is how it works. You can change the line style at the master. Use, for example, width 2, which looks like this, and it changes at the slave in a moment too. So this is NODEtective. Now the Linescope, same thing. I will place the Linescope slave at the Renko chart. Linescope slave PH. And the same thing. I need to come up with the synchronization key. Let's use Linescope NQ, not daily. That's okay. I'm copying LENQ to the clipboard. I'm pasting it to the slave, and I'm clicking at read mode, because master sends the information about the levels and slave receives it. What I can do, I can extend the line, which I like doing, extending the lines of the Linescope. And finally, there's pattern action here on this chart. So I'm going to place here pattern action slave PH, and the same thing. I need to come up with the synchronization key, PANQ, copy, send, share as master, and here I need to paste the same key and click at read mode. There are no wait, pattern action. Oh, I got here pattern action master ultra. It's another basically indicator. I need pattern action master PH. Yeah. And I need to paste here the same key. This one. You see, and now we have the pattern action levels. I need to adjust one thing because the candles are within the pattern action rectangles and so on and so on. So I go back to the settings and I increase the price offset from 40 to, let's 250. Yeah, that's it. And that's it. We are done. We have the working workspace And basically you saw that the setting up the indicators took the least time. I have to say that I was too describable. I said too much about the sounds, which is not that important. You were right. But this is it. Now you can click at, now you can go to the main panel, main ATAS panel, which is here. And which is here. You click at the settings, you click at workspaces, and you save the settings of the workspace we just created. This file is available at my Discord, obviously, to anyone using the indicators. So you can download the file, import it to your ATAS by clicking at import, obviously. And then you have the same working area with the indicators I use. And that's it. I'm sorry for being this long, but when I start talking, then I talk. Do you have any questions? If not, you can obviously ask at Discord. There are separate groups for the German-speaking and English-speaking users of ATAS, so you can ask whatever you want. And I decided to conduct webinars on a regular basis, both in German and English each week. So I need to come up with a topic of the next webinar, or I will ask the users what are they interested in. And we will see us next week, same time. If you won't make it, no worries. I'm recording this, and there will be the recording at the YouTube available as well. And you can watch it later if you won't be able to attend. For semaPHorek, can we have auto adjustment? Yes. This is something what comes within next, I think, week or 10 days. I call it auto calibration. You basically will have one slider. Yes, it's not that easy. I will explain later. You will have one slider, same like with the NODEtective. Just one simple slider. And you will move the slider left to right. You see the synchronization. When I change the numbers, the amount of the lines at the master chart, then it obviously influences the slave chart as well. And the same way will be with the auto calibration of the semaPHorek. You don't have to change all the settings, absorptions, volume, delta, relative volume, and so on and so on. You just move one slider and it will automatically calibrate semaPHorek for particular session. There's one problem though. It will compare not only the current situation at the chart, but it will also pay into consideration previous days, because it obviously matters whether you calibrate semaPHorek at 10 a.m. or at 4 p.m., obviously, because those are two different sessions. And this will be clever enough. I did not talk about all those positive, negative candles in the indicators, why it's so important, and so on and so on. But there's quite a lot of thinking behind, and there will be quite a lot of thinking in the auto calibration so that it works, so that it's reliable. In order to maximize this indicator, do we need to buy lifetime licenses for the ATAS and the indicators? No. Thank you for the question. I have a fair play guarantee. Fair play guarantee. Let me explain it. You can purchase the subscription of the, I will tell it, I won't draw anything. You will purchase the subscription for the indicators you are interested in, and you have to pay for that. And this is intentional. This is intentional. I don't allow users using any demo version. Would you please switch me semaPHorek for 14 days? I'm sorry, I will not. I want you to pay. This is, in my opinion, very, very important. I need you to feel that you are obliged to something, that you are not just testing it, because I've done it before a few times, and I realized that those people wrote to me, I'm very sorry, I was so busy those 14 days, I wasn't able to test semaPHorek. Would you give me another 14 days? I gave him 14 days, but I saw the lack of interest, lack of interest of testing, of learning, so you have to pay for the subscription. However, and this is my fair play guarantee, if you don't like the indicator, you can write me at any date during that month. You can write me at the 30th day of the month, at the very end of the month, or in December, the 31st day of the month, obviously, and you will get full return. Without asking you anything, you don't have to tell me anything. You tell me, I want return, I want refund, and you will get it. The entire amount of money, because it didn't suit you. It's not your object of interest, so to say. But if you like it, then you continue in the subscription, And if you tell me the second month, at the end of the second month, 30th day, I've tested it for 2 months, I eventually came up to the conclusion that I don't like it, I will refund you the 1 month, always 1 month. Not that somebody uses it for 6 months and tell me after 6 months of using semaPHorek, I don't like it, in fact. This way it doesn't work. But you get refunded at the end of the current month, not calendar month, but the 30 day of using. There's a full refund. And another part of fair play guarantee is that if you decide after 3 months of using the indicator that you want to purchase the lifetime version, then the price of the lifetime version will be deducted of all the subscription fees you've paid. So, for example, you use semaPHorek for 4 months, you pay 4-month subscription for semaPHorek, and then you write me, it's great, I want to have a lifetime version, and I will deduct 4 months of subscription of semaPHorek from the price of the lifetime version. So I think this is fair play. I decided so because I trust my indicators. I use them the same way you will use them. There is not a single hidden or added feature in the indicators I use compared to the indicators the others use. And at the moment, basically, there is not a single setup file for semaPHorek which I didn't make public. All the setting files are public, so you have the same conditions like I have with my indicators. Can't wait to have it. Love it. Thank you. Yes, and I'm convinced that it's worth it because I started trading in 2017. I changed my style entirely in 2020. I started with price action, profiles, order flow, and so on in 2020. And I wasn't able to achieve any payments because I was changing everything all the time. Workspaces, settings of the indicators, sets of the indicators, and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, I came up with semaPHorek. I presented it at my birthday. It was the June 24th last year. And I managed to get the first payout by the end of July 2024. So within 1 month. My first payout was made thanks to semaPHorek. It was the first payout. And the second payout came a week after. So my first payout in my life came 1 month after semaPHorek was available, and the second payment a week after. So I absolutely trust it, and I'm really convinced that it's amazingly helpful indicator because it makes you consistent. There's one important thing which I like to emphasize, and maybe this will be last thing because it's already quite late today. I will show you something, semaPHorek. The setting files for semaPHorek, check this out, semaPHorek Grenko 18. This setting is from the September the 5th, so this is basically almost 3 months old. This setting is for September the 17th, and this one is from the September the 10th. So the settings are 3 months old. I don't change them. They work. And this made me consistent. I don't change it. And my set of indicators is complete at this moment. I am not going to come with anything else just because I could sell it. I'm not doing it. I'm offering the indicators I use for the others as well. I'm sharing my trading ideas at my Discord, and I'm basically offering you to follow the path I go. One-to-one, without having anything else. Now you have my workspace. I showed you how I create the workspace. I will share the workspace with you. You can have one-to-one, identical working station like I use. So we need to calibrate on each station. I don't know yet. I don't know yet, to be honest, because it's not even in the beta version yet, the auto-calibration module. I don't even know if it will be an additional module. One important thing of lifetime versions, there will never ever be semaPHorek 2.0 or something similar to semaPHorek, which you should purchase again. There will be improvement, but lifetime users will receive all the updates lifetime. You know, so you purchase Linescope, which is the tool for systematic identification and visualization of the levels. And when I come with any improvement, you will get it. There won't be something like Line Master or something like that. And, you know, Linescope, it's old. Now we have a Line Master. No, this will never, ever happen. If I do any improvement to tool for the identification of the lines, then I do it for Linescope, and you will get it with the lifetime version. Basically with the subscription version too, because the difference between the subscription version and the lifetime version, I won't be able to show you because I'm not able to open. Oh, okay, I will show you. The only difference is the webhooks. Ultra versions, lifetime version equal Ultra version, and the only difference, I know how I will show you. NODEtective Ultra looks like this. This is the settings of NODEtective Ultra, and check this out. Check this part out. This part out. This is the only difference between NODEtective subscription version, full version, and NODEtective Lifetime Ultra version. This is the Ultra version. See that? Now check this out. I will show you the settings for NODEtective full version, Master PH. You see that? Again, I will do it twice or 3 times. Pay special attention to this part, because this is the settings. Master key already, okay. This part, I will switch back and forth a few times. You won't see any difference here. Except, okay, show profile, hide profile. That's basically the only difference. Gosh, what did I do? NODEtective Master, Ultra. Master, Ultra. No difference at all. Same for semaPHorek. Same for NODEtective. Same for PatternAction. The only difference in the Ultra version is the webhook. Share. Oh, gosh, where am I? Ultra webhook here. Yeah, that is the only difference. That makes the difference because you are able to start building the automations with Ultra versions because they send a lot of information through webhooks. But this requires different webinar. Otherwise, we will be here until the midnight. It doesn't mean that the Ultra version is something significantly more or from the core of the indicator different. No, at all. It has only webhook as an additional function or feature. I already have subscription for semaPHorek. Hope we don't need to pay something else for the new updates. No. You will get as soon as auto-calibration module appears, you will get it, no matter whether you use the subscription version or the lifetime version. You get it. Full stop. Period. There won't be any additional fee. Like there's a semaPHorek, and now you can have even the auto-calibration too for that. Would you like to have it? No. You will get it. Same like what I was going to say. I don't know. I'm thinking about, I don't know yet whether the auto-calibration will be the part of the semaPHorek indicator. You know, something like, I don't know, auto-calibration, let's calibrate it. Or if it will be another module. Like, there will still be one indicator, semaPHorek, and same like master slave for NODEtective. Slave is basically another module of master. So there probably will be semaPHorek auto-calibration module because I feel there's no relation between the main indicator and the auto-calibration. Or I don't know, maybe there will be another tab like settings and about. Maybe I will do it like basic. And there will be basically one slider only, nothing else. And you will set the number of the signals at the chart just by moving the slider. And that's it. If somebody asks me for the settings for Micro Gold, Renko 12, Asia, I tell him 17. And he goes and he set the slider to 17 and he will have the same, exactly the same settings like I have for Micro Gold. And there will be another tab which will be advanced, maybe, which will be these settings with all the details. If you want to set it in detail, you can use the advanced tab and that's it. That's the possibility. I haven't decided yet. I will decide, I don't know, maybe during weekend. But you will get it for free, included. It's part of the project, of the idea of the product. I won't build any other additional modules. You can purchase an additional module. Would you like to? No, never. That is the fair play guarantee. I want you to have the full power you can get. Not that you need to pay for the air conditioning system if you want to, or I don't know, rear camera, what's popular these days with the cars. No, there are things I hate, and this is something what I do hate, and I won't do that because I hate it. So there won't be any additional modules for semaPHorek. Would you like to have the 10th light? Another module? No, never. The indicators that are on the chart right now is the ultimate trading system you are offering at the website, right? I'm offering the ultimate trading system. There are all 5 indicators in the lifetime versions. Whoever purchases this as the Black Friday bundle will have 5 indicators lifetime whatever changes I will implement in the future, next year or in 5 years, no matter, there will be only semaPHorek, period. And I don't think about coming up with a slightly improved version, something, I don't know, it won't be showing lights, but it will be showing fireworks at the chart or emojis. I don't know. This won't happen. That is the idea. Each indicator was developed and invented, so to say, with a particular goal, which I had on mind. Linescope, levels. semaPHorek, trigger. NODEtective, high and low volume nodes. PatternAction has not been finished yet. And this is a great example for my philosophy. PatternAction is the indicator for the patterns. It will draw some price action patterns. Price action pattern action patterns. So I created a compound word, pattern action, because those are patterns based on price action. You know, it has nothing to do with volume. Those are solely, well, you can display the POC of the order block, but it's related with the order block. It's not related to nodes, for example. So each indicator aims at a different thing, and you will get with the Ultimate Trading suite, with the Ultimate Trading system, you will get all the indicators I've developed so far, lifetime, forever, with all the future updates. You will have the entire system. And all the lifetime version includes the webhooks, which I will show you and describe you the idea behind later. You know, you can work with that and trade at the current state, which I work and trade now. But I came up with an idea of the automations, and that's why I needed webhooks. Different than webhooks in ATAS, because my webhooks send more information. But let's talk about it next week. I'm okay with that, to talk about it next week. A slider insight is enough. It's not that easy. It's not that easy, because I was thinking, actually, that this slider will offer you the possibility of saving the setup file, the settings file for semaPHorek, you know, so that you can use it next day, compare it to the next day, because you won't get the same results every day. It's based on the previous development and previous days. So I haven't decided yet. I don't know yet. Maybe you are right. There will be just settings, slider, colors. Maybe these basic things, like a least visible, strip distance, where you can move the distance of the, now it's frozen, I don't know why. Oh, I placed it here. I placed it at the upper chart. Where you can move the position of the slider. Strip distance. See? You can move the position of the semaPHoreks and the numbers. There will be basically maybe number size, text size, because that was requested. And strip height, which increases and decreases the height of the strip. And least visible, how many numbers you want to see, and so on and so on. This influences the auto calibration, but it can be at the basic tab, and then there will be the advanced tab. Okay. Okay, guys, that's it. I thank you for attending today's webinar. If you have any questions, please join my Discord, and I will reply. And let's see each other next week. Thank you very much. I'm stopping the recording and ending this webinar. Thank you very much.